Hey y'all, welcome back to Life with Elizabeth. This is Dating Diaries. Today I'm eating lunch and there were some things that I didn't complete or finish in the last video. I was talking about delusion and some of the lies that when we were in the world that we may have said and done, because covenants could be in many different ways, and the way that I said it may be one way, but there are many different ways that you can make covenants and vows with someone and even to yourself. And I want to continue that conversation a little bit more, just because it may be something that you may not have thought about before, or you may be someone still struggling with waiting or struggling with, why you're not connecting with your spouse. Your spouse may be right in front of you, and for whatever reason, things may not be working in the way that you think that it should, or the way that it actually should. Not the way that you think that it should. It may not be working out the way that it actually should. And it's because sometimes we made covenants and made decisions in our hearts that we didn't recognize, or we don't recognize as that being the thing that is hindering the connection, that is hindering our growth. And as of this morning, today is the 2nd of September. I had prayed, and because I realized after meditating, so meditating on the weekend, the topic was dominion over darkness. And one of the governments that we may be struggling with may be delusion and not being able to see the lies. So sometimes we tell ourselves lies. We know that we're not going to do something. We know that it doesn't make sense. We know that the outcome is going to look a particular way, and we still say we're going to do it, and we know we're not going to do it. Like, why do we do that? And those lies open us up to the enemy. Those lies allow the devil to have access to us, because if we use lie like a door, when you lie, you open the door for him to come inside your house, and your house being your temple. And so when you're delusional, with each delusion, this is the way I see it. With each delusion, it's as if you've opened up different doors, windows, unlock them. You just giving him full access. And so the more delusions, the more lies, the more covenants, the harder it is for us to even know the difference between the voice of the Holy Spirit versus the voice of the enemy. So if we've given someone access to our house, and then we get home, you've given them the key, you've given they have access to those locks, they got in. So now when you get to the house, how do you know which person came in the house? How do you know who was there if you've given different people access to the house unless you ask them? And asking the devil if he told you a lie, like, that doesn't even make sense. So he is the master of lies. So with one delusion, there could be a myriad of other delusions, other vows, other commitments, other things that you've said unknowingly. And one of the things that I believe that many people struggle with as well is knowing yourself. So I did a I want to say a course in for ministry. And one of the things that Dr. Emmanuel asked was, if you were the devil, how would you bring yourself down? And if you know yourself enough and you know the things that you like and the things that you like to hear, the things that the enemy can play, then you would know how to protect yourself, how to safeguard your home, how to ensure that you lock and take back the access that you've given to the devil. In our single season, it is very imperative, it's very important, and I'm understanding so much more. And I can say it to you now because let me tell you something. A year ago, I probably couldn't say this. I didn't know myself. I don't know if I could have said before that I liked being with myself. So if I didn't like being by myself, like being with myself, how would I be okay with somebody else being with me? Like, they would define me if I don't know myself, if you don't know yourself. And one of the things that life allowed to happen, just because circumstances, people moving people out of my life, certain people dying, like it was just different things that happened that caused me to spend more time with myself. I dated myself. I became okay with going to the movies by myself. I became okay with going on drives by myself. I became okay with traveling by myself. And even when I'm at home, I'm okay watching a movie, sitting alone, and just relaxing by myself. Are you okay with being with you? If you were not you, would you like you? Would you want to hang with you? I'm going to give you a minute. I'm going to give you a minute and think about that. Like, what are the characteristics that you really like about yourself? One of the things that deterred me from even creating content and creating videos, I thought I was beautiful, but I didn't like hearing my voice. Like, it was something about hearing my voice that just turned up. And yes, that's the devil, child, telling you the lies. That was the devil saying so many lies that I didn't recognize, that I didn't sound good, that I didn't sound nice. Until one day I was with a client, like I have a regular client, and his father-in-law came to visit from Canada. And when his father-in-law came in, he was like, "Oh my God, if I wasn't married, I would just marry you for your voice." And in my head, I was like, what? I thought that was so weird to say. And he was like, "I just love your voice." And it was something when he said that that made me recognize how much I didn't like my voice. And I didn't see it as something that people would enjoy or want to hear. And so I'm saying this to you to say that, as simple as that may seem, what is the thing that you don't like, that you may despise? And then what are the things that you actually like about yourself? So I love my face. I love my eyes. I love my smile. I love the way that I engage with people, that I talk with people. I love that. I love the way that I'm friendly. So there are a lot of things that I like about myself, that I actually love about myself. But the thing that deterred me from being obedient to God was the voice. I created content and never posted it. I created content and posted it and never made it live. Like, which is so many things that the devil did to deter me from being obedient. And in obedience, did I want to be seen? Um, what is the outcome that you're looking for, or we may be looking for when we obey? Is it that I'm going to obey and then God's going to send me this husband? Is this my reward for being obedient? So now I think even the way that I see obedience is different, with loving myself, with loving um, the characteristics, with loving and being comfortable with me. Like today, I came out for a drive before going to small group because I just wanted to be out in nature. Today is a more overcast day. It hasn't rained as yet, but I can see I'm sitting by the beach, and I can see that the weather is shifting. And the word that I want to say, or I want to share with you today, is in this season, be okay with the weather changing. Be okay with changing. Be okay with evolving. Be okay with even modifying some of who you are. Some of those things aren't real. Some of the things that we hold so strong and so dearly to ourselves, they're not real. Some of those things are lies that has been told over time that we never understood. One of the lies, or one of the things that I had struggled with for a long time, was I didn't feel, when I was asking God about my identity, I didn't feel like I fully understood who I was until I understood who I really am. So if you know my story, you know I changed my name from Mikkel to Elizabeth. And Elizabeth is who God has been calling me, who God knows me as in the spirit. This is who I am. This was the name that I believe that I was supposed to be given at birth. But because of other things, I believe that Mikkel was given for other reasons. Now that's a different story. But the point is knowing yourself. If I didn't even know who I was in the spirit, who is God calling you in the spirit? What is he saying to you? Is he even speaking to you? Like, if you're not able to know yourself, know your likes, know the things that you don't like, know how the enemy is going to distract you, how he's going to lie to you, and how he's going to steal from you, then I think that's a bigger problem. But that's one thing that I did want to add to the conversation about delusion, is that we need to love ourselves. We need to understand ourselves. We need to know the thing that the devil is going to use to come against us. What is that thing? Let me know in the comments. What is that thing that the enemy, he may be using it right now? Because one of the things that he was using is me not obeying God with creating the videos. So one of the things that he may be using with you is, if you're supposed to be a photographer, you not being comfortable selling your business, being in the forefront, getting your brand out there. And many times as an entrepreneur, being in the forefront is hard. Being okay to fail, get up and try it again. Try it a different way. Try it in a different, maybe you may be in the wrong room. You may need to go in another room. So all these things are things that tools that the enemy uses, and sometimes the Lord uses so that we can grow and we can learn. But the enemy tries to use things that will deter us from being obedient to God's word. Listen, I'm gonna go eat my lunch, and I'm gonna see you in the next video. Peace in, y'all.